Welcome to Appalachian Bonsai. This is the American Hornbeam we collected 2 years ago. You can find the video just right up here. Today we transplanted it into a new pot. Let's take a look at that. This can be helpful in thickening up the branch, but I don't want it growing out any more this year. So I am going to remove that. I have this downward facing branch, which I do not want. I do have this downward branch, but it's coming down and then back out, which I think is desirable. I have this dead section. You can actually see the change in color up here, and I can remove that old dead wood. I do like these little branches here. How do we want this to grow outward in the future? Do we want this to continue up at all? I don't want that to, so I'm going to reduce that to there. As well as this up is going away, and this right here is going away. And I'm going to reduce this to a bud. I have a bud right there, which is going to put it out this way, which I want. Okay. We have this branch, which could probably be brought down or back some. Or I can clip and grow to this branch right here, which I like. I like that branch. I think that's a very pretty branch. It's getting a little refined. This is about the same thickness all the way through. So I'm going to reduce that by cutting it back to there. Now we have two trunks is what it's looking like. I don't want this to interfere with my main trunk. I do have some branching coming off the side that might work. So let's just reduce it down to here and see what it looks like. If I were to continue with this, I would want this bud. I have a bud that's going to grow out. So I'm going to get there. All right. It's such a thick and heavy branch. And it's growing upward at an awkward angle. I do have these branches here in the back. I have to be careful that I don't create bar branches, which is what this could become. So how do you overcome that? Well, what I can do is remove it completely. If I remove it completely, then I can have this branch wired over here. Can I use those by chance? If you're looking at it from this way, it could be a bar branch, and it really is. So let's just remove that. I have this spot that's going to sort of callus over, but in what fashion? Is it going to look good and clean? Or is it going to look more like this right here? Which I'll show you. It's got kind of a little knobby section. That I think is a little bit more interesting. That could be carved up a little bit more. And I will do the same with this one. So what do we do about that? I say we carve it up. We'll do that in just a moment. Let's get these other branches. I'm going to leave this one. This one could thicken up the base here between these 2 points, which will be good because we have such a large section of trunk diameter-wise here, and then we have a small trunk there. So this would be good to help thicken up this base in this transition. So I'm going to leave that. I'm going to leave this as well. This is starting to get strong, so and the strength of this branch versus these two branches is greater. So I'm going to reduce this back here, here, get rid of that. This branch over here could use a little strength, but I don't need to go that strong right now. I'll bring it back there. This top branch is certainly growing very strong. I have what could be a bud there, there, and here. I'm going to reduce it to there. I've got a curve, and then I have more curve, but then it's just kind of straight and plain Jane. Let's make it right there, huh? Woo. So let that grow just a little bit this first flush of spring, and then I'll reduce it back. Okay? I need this to kind of start moving back towards center. So I will have to add some wire, but I just have to keep a good eye on it. All right, let's do that now. The bark will kind of grow and thicken up, and this wire will end up making a mark. We will cut this out as soon as we can. Let's take care of this and take care of that. I'm carving this to give the illusion that the branch was broken and peeled down the side of the trunk. For this bottom part, it was a flat cut, so by hollowing it out some, it allows the callus to roll over. A wire-away brush takes away some of the filaments created during carving. For these old cuts, I'm scratching the surface of the callus, which will facilitate more growth. Let's repot this thing. Remove the old retaining wires. If there are any remaining screens or other wires, remove those as well. Use a chopstick to remove old soil and loosen the root ball. They're really good roots, but we can't use them all, so cut off what you don't need. And sometimes you just gotta shake it. There are some very nice roots that radiate from the trunk, creating a nice nabari. But this one root in particular is sitting too high. We need to remove that. Remove any other excess roots that you don't need. This is still early in the development period of this tree. Leave enough roots so that the tree remains healthy, but also remember that you're having to develop root structure. Good-looking roots are part of good-looking bonsai. This large root needs to come off in the future, but for now I have to leave it for the health of the tree. To help promote root growth for the future, I'm making little notches. Smaller feeder roots should form from these cuts. These are retaining wires that will help hold the tree in the pot. Add a thin layer of coarse bonsai soil. Details for the soil mixture I used in this video are in the description below. Pull and then twist. Add more soil and work into the roots with the chopstick. Give the pot a few taps on the side to make sure that soil gets settled in there, and then add a final top coat. So we've transplanted this hornbeam into this pot by MC Squared Pottery. It may not be the final pot that I use for this tree, but it fits for now. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video. Like and subscribe because there is more to come. Thanks for watching.